Hello everyone, Barada Guitars here again. Welcome another build. This build gonna be an Ultra Strat, so it's been a long time ago. Let's start now. So my idea was in the beginning to have a quilted maple top and black Limba as a body plank, but then I thought I got a very beautiful black Limba plank. Why should I just hide it using this nice quilted maple top? So I thought I would save this for another build and I would just go with this black Limba plank. It's a very beautiful plank and I will go with it without using the quilted maple. I put the link down below in the description box so you can go and check where I get my wood from and you can order your wood from it. Here you can see what I'm using for getting the shape of my Strat as I want. Here you can see the wood grain and the colors that exist in the blank, so you can get the best out of your wood blank, and I decided to go with this shape and this colors. So I will cut my blank exactly like how I want, and then I can use my template, mark and draw all the outlines and then start cutting with the bend saw. And as you can see here, we are done with cutting the body, and this is the shape, and we will start now using the template to start rotary. But until this point I didn't get the actual template, which has a rare cavity, and I'm using now a normal standard Strat template because it has exactly the same shape except for the pickups and the control cavity. Now using double-sided tape just to hold the templates to the body, and then we can start rotating. And with the help of using 4 pieces of double-sided tape, we can hold the body to the table. And now we can start the process of rotating the body with a very short rotor bit with bearing head. And here is the gloves that I use. I know that this is not allowed or not good to use the gloves while using rotary tools, but I do that. I feel more comfortable, so please don't complain about that. And after reaching to this depth, we're gonna remove the template. There is no need to use it anymore because our body became our template. Now you lift up with this small edge we're gonna flip the body to the other side and start routering using an opposite bearing head router bit, which has the bearing on the bottom, as you can see here, instead of the top of the router bit. So you can see the difference. And using that, we can start removing the whole edge. Now we can remove the body from the table and preparing the body for the bucketing. Today I received the templates that I'm gonna use for this build, which gonna be an HSS Strat humbucker with 2 single coils for the neck and the middle. So those are the templates. I will let the link down below in the description box so you can go and buy your templates from them. It's a very high quality templates. They didn't pay me to say this, but this is where I buy always my templates from. They are doing a very clean work. So this is the front template and we will start using it for the bucketing. But before we start, I'm gonna mention something that I always seal the edges of my templates, which makes the MDF way more harder, using this Starbond super glue. It's a very high quality. I will let also the link down below so you can go and check it. And this is my alternative for using epoxy. I will make a separate video about that later. So let's complete now bucketing. Now starting with drawing the outlines for the buckets and start drilling inside them to remove as much wood as we can. This gonna help the router to do its work way more easy. And I know a lot of you guys, they do the whole process of bucketing just using the router, and I think this is not the right way to do it. A router was not made to remove this much of wood, and sometimes it can be really dangerous for you guys. So please remove the wood using a drill bit and then you can move to the router. Now here you can see with drilling the last hole for the tremolo system, I used a bigger drill bit just because of the tremolo arm stand that gonna be inside the body. This gonna help the tremolo to move more freely. As you can see here, while I was routering the buckets, the screw got loose and I removed 2.5 millimeter more from the bucket, but this gonna be hidden under the backup cover and it's not gonna be a big problem. If this guitar would be an order, I would not send it to the person or to the customer. I would just repeat the whole process from the beginning. Now after finishing all of that, we can start with doing the rear cover, and it's a very easy process. It depends on 3 different templates. The first one is the bucket itself, and then doing the edge where the cover gonna lie in, and the third part is doing the cover itself to put it inside the hole. .83mm is the perfect depth for me. Some people do until 40, but I think this is okay and more than enough for putting a battery and all the pots inside the back cavity. Now moving on to the neck pocket, which is gonna be 15mm depth. Some people do it 14.5, I do it 15. You have to be 100% precise here. There is really no space just to do any error. This is not a reversible step, so please just take your time, double check your size and measurements, and then you're gonna be okay. Now after removing the templates, you can see that the neck pocket is very clean, And now we can start drilling the holes for the wires of the pickups, and this will help us to just take the wires of the pickups to the back cavity without removing any wood from the top. Now doing the last hole for the grounding wire of the tremolo, and we are almost done with all the holes. We can move to the 5-way switch, which I will make a channel using just a very tiny 2mm drill bit, and do this over and over again until I get a straight channel, and then I will use a file to file it down and then get it very clean. Now the last step of the back cavity, this gonna be like 2.8mm, so we will start now doing the edge. It's gonna be just one step. Just hold the templates using clamps, just clamp it down and then start rotating, and then you will get a very clean result. And after doing that, we're gonna move to our edge rounding using a 1/2 inch round over router bit and start doing the edges. Now flipping the body to the other side, here we have to be extra careful because of the neck pocket. We will start from this point instead of starting just the whole neck pocket, because you will not be able to install the neck if you just go through all the body. Now here you can see the results. There is the burning marks, and there is a grain that it has to be sanded down. So using a 120 grit sandpaper, I start sanding the whole body until I get it very clean, and sanding always with the grain direction and not just doing it randomly. Now doing the armrest, it's a very easy using the templates and the two lines. Just with a 90-degree ruler, we will start drawing two lines and then start shaving this down until we get the perfect shaving. This body gonna be special, as I said, because it's an ultra strat and not a normal strat, so we're gonna do extra work on this body. So this you're gonna see in a minute. Now moving to the belly curve, you can see here I'm using also the same template just to check my lines, draw lines with the help of this 90-degree ruler, and then I can start shaping this with being sure that I got the real size. Now using 2 clamps and one piece of wood, soft wood of course, you're gonna make sure that your body is not gonna move while shaping this, and using this file we will start doing the shaping. Before we finish the shaping, we should check that everything is straight using straight ruler, and if you get any source of light then you are not good to go. You should do it until it's all perfect and straight. Now after we are done from this step, we're gonna move to the belly cut. There is 2 files that I use them. They are very aggressive files, so I love doing this job by my hands. I know that there is 100 way to do it, and I will post this in the next coming videos. I will show you how to remove this with the bandsaw and with other tools, which way more faster. I just love doing that this way. Now after you finish your belly cut, you should start rounding the belly cut, because obviously it is now sharp and you have to round it and get the rounding down to the whole belly cut. And I do this using a 60 grit sanding paper. I'm very passionate on this. You can do it using a file, but I think this is way more safer. And using a light in the right place, you can check everything while doing this without having to remove the body each time to check if the shadows are right on the body. Now after finishing here, you can check how the light and the shadows are very soft, and we gonna repeat this process on the armrest or the arm contour. So using the 60 grit sanding paper again, we will get the same result, but just be careful, don't remove way too much, and just be patient. Now I decided to go just with two butts with this body, and this is a 10mm drill bit. I will just drill 2 holes obviously, and those are enough for controlling the volume and the pickups. Now moving on for the back cover and the tremolo cover, I will use this flame maple wood just to make those 2 covers, but first I have to lay out my lines, and then I will start thicknessing this using just my router bit, because I don't have a thicknesser or planer, so I'm just using my router, moving it until I get the right thickness using this router bit. Unfortunately I lost my footage, but this is the result, and after doing that I start sanding it to get it flat, and then we gonna cut the shapes of the 2 cover out of this piece. All what you are seeing here, it's 100 hours of hard working, so please make sure to subscribe and let's continue together. So here you should check that everything is fitting properly without any problems. This is gonna be magnetic back cover. I will make it way more easy to remove without using screws, and it's really cooler. Now for moving further, we need our neck plate, and this is also a company that I order all my neck plates from it. They do this laser uncurving, and as I said in the first of the video, this is not gonna be a normal thread, this is gonna be an ultra. That's why we're gonna use this neck plate instead of the standard one. I will let also the link down below in the description box, so you can go and order your custom neck plate with your custom design. Now after marking all the holes, we will use this small piece of metal just to mark a line, to draw a line around this neck plate, and to cut this rest of wood because we don't need it. It's just the wood that we have to remove, and here you gonna see that how I'm starting drawing all the lines, which will be the wood that gonna be removed to make the playing way more easy, and we will see the result in a minute. Now after doing all the shaping, we gonna use these different spongy shapes blocks to start sanding the body, which is the final sanding before applying the oil and the sealer. Now we will start with the finishing, and for that we're gonna use the Truoil, the wood sealer, and maybe the wax layer for the neck. But now we will stay concentrating with the wood sealer and starting with it. You can check the link down below in the description box, and you can order your products also from the link down below. So now with the wood sealer, I just use just clean cloth and also this cotton pads. They are for removing the makeup. I just use them to apply my sealer on and just like get this shape, then using this old neck to hold the body in its place, I can clamp this whole body down to the table. I found this to be the best way to apply your lacquer or even your oil, just doing that by sliding it down, and then if you want to flip it, you can just take it and slide it down again on the other side. So now opening the wood sealer and starting with making a small hole inside it, and then putting some of the wood sealer. Some people like to put it directly on the bed, some people like to put it on the body, but I am from the second type of people. I just like to put my wood sealer thick on the body and then start applying it until I cover all the surface area. And after doing the first side, we can start with the back side and start doing the same process. It's a very basic, just doing this with circular movements until all the boards get filled, and you're gonna see now in a minute that it's gonna take a little bit longer than what you think to fill all the boards in the wood. It's not a very complicated process, but it just needs to be a little bit patient until you get all the pores filled and start applying the oil. There is a point I should mention about these products that I like, which is the ability to sand them after 24 hours and the ability to put more coats after waiting from 2 to 3 hours depending on your temperature room. If you have a 20-degree temperature room, you can apply the second and third coat after 4 to 5 hours or even 3 hours without any problem. They're gonna be dry to touch, and this I like a lot about these products, and that's why I thought they are worth mentioning. So repeating the same process of sanding and then applying the sealer until you get the whole pores filled properly, and then you are good to go. Here we can see with a very close look on the body that after drying that the pores are got filled with the sealer, and now we know that we can do the last sanding using steel wool, and this is just my way of doing the finish, and then we can start applying the Truoil. And again, as I said, you can apply it directly or you can apply it using clean cloth, but this is just up to you. I really found there is no difference because you will have to dry this after 15 minutes and then waiting another 3 to 4 hours depending on the temperature of your room, and then applying another coat. I do several coats on a day, but some people like to wait 24 hours before applying the second coat. So here you can see that I did the first coat. It's dry to touch, but I have to wait and then do another coat and repeating this process several times, sometimes 6 to 7 times, until I get the whole small pores filled. And then the last coat would be using a very fine grit sandpaper around about 1500, and this will help also to refill the whole pores. So here you can see that I sanded the whole body again using 1000 grit sandpaper and then applying another coat. It's a very long process, but it's really worth it because the result is very clear and nice. You're gonna get a very nice finish. It's hard like a glass. You won't believe that, guys, but you will see the results in the next coming parts. This whole build would be just 3 parts: body, neck, and assembly. So here you can see after applying the whole coats that they were enough to fill all the pores and get it probably oiled. I will start with 1500 grit sandpaper and doing the wet sanding. I made a special video on my channel about wet sanding and polishing, and you can go back and check it out. After finishing the wet sanding and moving up to 3500 grit sandpaper, we start doing the buffing. I'm doing this by my hand. It's a very hard work, but I don't have a buffer machine right now, so I'm just doing it in the traditional way. And after doing the buffing, I check if everything is okay using the light. Any place that is not okay, I resand it, and then you can see here there is some imperfect places where I have to resand and then do the buffing again. Here you can see a little bit of drops, but this is no problem, I can do it, and we will continue in the next part. Please don't forget to subscribe, like if you want to. If you dislike, just dislike it, and I will catch you in the next part. Peace.